Pisces, welcome back to the channel. Today I'd like to just do a middle of the month reading for September 15th, right in the heart of September. If you're interested in seeing what the monthly reading is, I'll leave a link for it at the end of this video. I just wanted to also say quickly, thank you so much for all the love and support. I've been seeing new subscribers on the channel. And I've been seeing people's comments and been happily replying, sharing my own words. And I'm seeing a community begin to blossom, and it's really beautiful and exciting. And thank you all for, again, joining me on this journey. As much as it's about your journey, you know, I appreciate also the love and support and your openness to hear my message for you all Pisces. Thank you so much. So today I'm just going to do a middle of the month reading. I think from what we saw, maybe that was last week, there was a lot of change going on. I think it's like definitely, so far what I've seen is it's been a month of just a lot of work from inside out, a lot of action that leads to kind of internal change. So I'm sure that's going to be another interesting reading here today. So we're going to just look at a few cards, about 10 cards here. Going to look into your strength, your recent past, your focus, your overall energy, hopes and fears, immediate future, potential outcomes, supportive energies, and what energies surround you that you may not be aware of at this time. So without further ado, I'm just going to shuffle one time because I feel like I don't really, yeah, okay. That just was too perfect that, yeah, might shuffle like this, but yeah, that feels right to me. Actually, I'm going to break it one more time. And we're going to ask Spirit, what does Pisces need to know for the rest of their September? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, already something nice. Okay. Yeah. It's it kind of blows my mind. I'm just gonna show you the cards real quick. It blows my mind. Really blows my mind that how consistent Spirit is. Like seems to really follow the logic of Spirit. So for your overall energy, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely, like we've seen previously, I think there was a lot of wands earlier, a lot of activity, but I think again there's been a lot of harvesting of getting ready to really commit your energy towards something. Basically been taking a lot of action and kind of trying things out, going through a sample kind of period of what activities you like to do in this kind of new form that you've taken. And I now see you kind of getting a layer deeper than just physical action towards more of like energetic commitment. So Ace of Pentacles has a lot to do with, you know, a financial kind of commitment, some kind of new investment, some kind of start of a new business. But I also think of it as like the start of a new kind of career or the start of a new kind of formula. But I mainly think of it just because the way this thing looks is this has something to do with starting to build your chi up again, starting to build your energetic liveliness again, and figuring out what you want to commit to that's not going to drain you, that's going to freshen your energy up. So you're definitely in that overall energy of planting energetic seeds that will absolutely sprout and blossom. Just looking at the rest of this spread here. Your focus is definitely Queen of Pentacles, going in line with the Ace of Pentacles. You know, this could very much be the hand in the Ace of Pentacles, the Queen's hand holding the pentacle. Holding the pentacle here could very well be the Queen's hand. So it's a kind of beautiful little extension, and the sort of artistic slides of these are like, it's a storyboard really. But yeah, you're definitely harvesting and cultivating your chi and your energetic, your energetic spirit, and being very nourishing to that at this time. That is a big focus for you. But what I think is different is that in the past, a lot of nourishing this would come from an emotional and a cognitive place, so a very internal world. And I'm starting to see a little flip more towards the external world. Part of that has to do with what I see in your recent past with the Chariot. I think this is totally right. You're just super headstrong. You're moving forward. You're not looking back. You're going places. You're taking a lot of action and opportunities at this time and going very headstrong with all of them. And I think, let's save that for a little bit. But I think that's also why you have such wonderful, like, look at this major arcana too of the Hierophant and the Empress. There's a lot of like kind of divine feminine energy. Oops. Let me just get the mist back on. I need air. But there's a lot of divine feminine energy at this time. I like how as soon as I said that, the mist went off. I'm trying to put together why that would be the case. But again, it seems like there's this nurturing Queen of Pentacles, there's the Hierophant, the Empress. There's a lot of kind of divine feminine, strong feminine energy around you, and maybe you're really tapping into that. I think like everybody has a makeup of both masculine and feminine, and at this time you might be seeing yourself like in a kind of feminine leadership position, or that there's some kind of supportive energy from a female leader in your life. Have the Hierophant, you know, seeking mentorship for sure, and then you have the Empress, which is very much like a card of not just, sorry for the ambulance in the background there. Let me I think ultimately like you have these very like kind of motherly energies supporting you at this time, and that these also kind of symbolize like the birth of a new mentorship for you, that there's birth to a new idea, and that you're seeking mentorship. You have a new idea of how you're going to seek leadership at this time. Sorry, I got a little distracted and thrown off. Okay. Okay. All right, I'm back into it. For your hopes and fears, what I really notice here is, wow, just a lot of feeling very affected by things, and maybe that's part of this too. Is we have the eight of swords, so maybe all of this noise I'm hearing right now has something to do with that, of like you're moving forward. This is business. This is like if we saw you shooting a bow from a bow and arrow, you've shot like 8 shots in a row. This is the 8 of Wands. You're shooting many actions at once. And, you know, maybe that goes in conjunction with all the sort of happenings that are going on in this reading, like this turning off, the mister turning off, the ambulance, the honking, many things happening all at once. And I think, for Pisces in particular, you like to be your calm water, your oceanic water, just ebbing and flowing, beach waves, or being a very calm, lentic, gentle pond. And I think there is a bit of fear that you're going to be overwhelmed or you're going to crash. Just know that you can easily flip your perspective on this card as though it's like, you know what? Yeah, this is part of my kind of new approach. And, I think part of what makes you uncomfortable is you've been very heady in the past, very focused on the internal. And part of what makes you feel like you're going to crash is that it's uncomfortable for you to be so active in reality, because you usually work from a spiritual and emotional realm. But again, I think this is what's so interesting about the Queen of Pentacles and this Ace of Pentacles is I think you're starting to see how you can cultivate those energies through action in the external world and not just through emotional processing and feeling. And I think that's why we see, for what energy surrounds you, you may not be aware of, as the Hermit. I think there is still again and again, I've seen this throughout this month of there's this calling to go back to do some self-reflection and be alone. Because I think you're just a little bit overwhelmed with doing things not the way you used to be doing them. Hermit is very much your energy going back inside yourself. And I think just be mindful that it makes sense that you're called to that. But I think the way you approach this Hermit is to look at yourself as though, why do I always feel the need to bring myself back to Hermit mode when I'm, trying something new? So be aware that I think this Hermit is kind of very meta in the sense that it's be aware of your pattern to try to go back to Hermit mode when you're starting to do new things with your life. I understand that discomfort for real though. I really get that. Now I really want to look at these three cards because this is the really beautiful part. I'm going to start with sort of your immediate future, and then I'll go to potential outcome. But in your immediate future, you got the Page of Cups. So clearly people, all of these seeds that you've been planting are sprouting. For me, I can see this as people commenting on my videos is the first thing that comes to my mind. People bringing back the love I've been pouring. But Pisces, you're natural love givers. You're natural givers. And it's time that you see that people can do the same for you. So this is very much your energy usually. Just look at the fish here, It's a very Pisces card. But I think what it's saying is, you can receive that too. You can receive love too, and that definitely some kind of emotional offering is coming towards you. It could be in the form of a relationship, but it could also just be in the form of just good vibes from people, good emotional care from people. That could be friends, or that could be an emotional return from something that you're working on. I also see in your immediate future, in your potential outcome, I see this awesome card of, we have the Three of Wands. So you're beginning to really look out into the world. Again, this is why it's so scary. These cards are kind of opposites of each other. You're taking that brave step forward and getting onto the other side of a decision. What that thing that you kind of closed off at the beginning of the month, it's done. Your back's turned to it. Don't turn around again. You're going to see the same thing that you turned your back to. And I think this is good because, again, it reiterates this thing of you're taking action in order to cultivate your pentacles and your chi. You're figuring out how to build yourself outside in, and that's uncomfortable for you because you're used to building yourself inside out. I hope that makes sense. But because wands really have to do with physical activity, and I think it's a really important message for you to see that, like, yeah, you're taking action and you need to trust that process. And the last thing I really want to say is that, you know, there's also this kind of sense of independence, because this isn't your strength, the 10 of cups. So the way I read that is like you're taking care of yourself, you're self-sufficient, but also you're using your agency to self-generate not only your own optimism but your own satisfaction in the world. That whether you're spending your life with another person or spending your life with just yourself, it doesn't matter. You have yourself. This is your strength. You have your 10 of cups already. You are your 10 of cups, I think, is what this is saying. And that's why, like, almost everything else is icing on the cake or cherries on top of the sundae or whatever you like. You're feeling a sense of kind of self-satisfaction, and so it's almost like everything else is just extra, and whether it's seen as something negative or positive, it doesn't really matter, because you have this foundation, this strength to fall back on. You have the 10 of cups to fall back on at this time. So just know, like, you're really in a very fortified and strong, loving place, and that you have a lot of kind of self-love at this time. And that's really wonderful. I'm sorry for the interruption there, but I'm happy to have recovered and picked up some pace. I hope that wasn't too distracting. But again, thank you everybody for commenting and subscribing and liking the videos. I'll stay tuned for your weekly reading, and stay tuned for more videos, usually 3 to 4 a week. This is Beyond Tarot, wishing you peace and beyond.